All right, and welcome to Friday night. This is February 6th, 2009, and yes, it's 2009. Hard to believe it. I'd like to say thanks to everybody out there and all the new listeners as well. And if this is your first time to RadioVisions, my name is Darrah, and this is kind of how the program works. Throughout the course of the evening, we will be doing live readings via the instant messenger on the website page. It should be up and active now, so if you've got a question or need some information on something, just send me an instant message and I will let you know what's in store for you or what's coming up. And I also like to take a small step and tell everybody happy birthday that's out there having a birthday today. And remember, if you're contemplating marriage or whatnot, today is a great day to reaffirm that, and you will have a very happy and loving marriage from this point forward. So keep that in mind. If that's what you're contemplating, then it's a step in the right direction, a good thing for you to do. Now, tonight's topic. We always have a topic to fill up the time in between readings, because some nights, to be honest, all I have is listeners and nobody wanting to participate, that's fine. Some nights it's kind of fun that way. But tonight's topic is age. Now, for a lot of people, age is a little big factor. Because I know when you're young, you always want to be older. And I know when you're older, you always want to be younger. But what is the right age? And why does age get in the way of so many things in life? Let's follow some examples here. First of all, when you're young, let's say 10 to 15, you want to be at least 18 to 20. So, you have your driver's license and be driving around, having fun, doing the things you can do. And by the time you hit 18, you're able to vote. For a lot of people, that is a huge monumental thing. And I agree, voting is great. Then it comes to, like I said, 10 to 15, then 15 to 20, then it's 20 to 25. Now these are the magical years for some people, 20 to 25. A lot of things happen. You're already an adult at 20, but you don't get all the perks of being an adult until you're 21. Then you get that perk of going to the clubs. I know for a lot of people that's no big deal, and I understand that. I don't particularly care about the clubs myself. And then there's the people that love clubs. Go there every single night if they could, or if they could afford it. But most people, go clubbing is usually Friday, Saturday, maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but it's not every night, and that's a good thing because it'd get old real quick, I think. But let's take a step back and look at what age does and is when it comes to relationships. This is the one that gets everybody in trouble all the time. And I want you to stop and really think about this. If you're in the age group between, let's say, 20 and 25, and you want to date somebody that's 25 to 30, okay? Usually nothing wrong with it. No big deal. Now, if you got someone that's between 25 and 30 and wants to date someone that's 20, I personally don't think there's anything wrong with that. And a lot of you out there probably don't either. But then you got that issue of, well, okay, you got an older person wanting to date a younger person. That's not good. Okay. Now let's stretch it out a little further. Now, if you got someone between 20 and 30 who wants to date someone between, let's say, 45 and 35, then people start looking at you funny. Because you're in your late 20s or early 30s, and you're wanting to date someone that's in their 40s, maybe 50s. Is that a good thing, a bad thing? Why do some people frown on it? What's your input on that? Does it get in the way? Let me ask you all a question. I'm in my early 40s. Now, some of you didn't know that. I guess you know now. Yes, I'm in my early 40s. 42 to be exact. Now, my question is, if I wanted to date someone younger, let's say in their early to mid 20s. Is that out of the question? I mean, we're both consenting adults. Or is that a little strange? I guess that depends on what era you grew up in. If you were born in the 40s and raised in the 50s and 60s and 70s, you would probably frown on that. But if you were born in the 60s and grew up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, you probably don't see any problem whatsoever with it. That's just to give you an idea of where people are this day and age. I personally don't think it matters either way. As long as everybody is consenting adults, it doesn't matter if you're 20 dating a 50 or if you're a 50 dating a 90. What's it matter? I really don't think it does, personally. As long as everybody's having fun and no one's getting hurt, who cares? So if you got any interesting stories about age differences and what it does for you and what it doesn't do for you, why don't you send me an instant message, let me know. Another thing I find funny about age is that most men don't care about age very much. I said most, not all of them. Some of them care very much. But women, man, seems like by the time a lady hits about 28, 29, age gets to be a really bad issue, a sore subject. And I don't understand this because I know a lot of women that are in their early 20s, very pretty. I know a lot of women that are in their early 60s, very pretty. So what's it matter? You can look at it as experience. You can look at it as, I don't know, life in general. It's a good thing. Trust me, it's a good thing. I always looked at age this way. The older I get means one less thing. Means one less person in a cemetery. Why? Because I'm getting older. I'm not dying. I know a lovely way to think about it, right? Well, if you're just tuning in, this is Darrah, and you're listening to RadioVisions. We are here every Friday and Saturday nights between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. That's Central Time. Keep that in mind. So if you're on the West Coast or the East Coast, it's either going to be an hour ahead or an hour behind, or if you're in a different country listening to this, it could be 2 or 3 hours ahead or 2 or 3 hours behind. Depends on where you actually are and all that fun stuff. Got to remind y'all that this coming weekend, not tomorrow, but Saturday the 14th, Valentine's Day. Remember, guys, get your girls something. Remember, girls, get your guys something. Even if it's just a card that says, I love you. Get them something. Let them know you care. Let them know you remembered. How many people out there are celebrating Valentine's Day? Let me ask you this. How many people out there actually think Valentine's Day is a real holiday? Now, we all know that the department stores, grocery stores, and every other store out there, they think it's a real holiday, or you wouldn't see all the stuff they try to peddle all over the place. Which is kind of bizarre that this day and age you can buy stuffed gorillas that are white and red with little wings that say I love you embroidered across their chest. If that doesn't say I love you, I don't know what does it. I just don't know. But what are your takes on that? And let's tie that in with the age thing. I know when everybody's a kid, Valentine's Day is great because they usually get some candy from the folks, or if they're in a school that does Valentine card exchanges or something at school, you get lots of cards or little pieces of candies from friends or cupcakes from the teachers or whatnot. It's always fun. It's always kind of cool. But when you get older, when does that go away? The fun part, the candies, the trading the cards, all that. Does that go away about the age of 12, 13? Which, if it is, it's alright. But it always amazes me by that 12 or 13 years age, you're looking at boys are looking at girls differently, girls are looking at boys differently, as like, maybe I like to go steady, go out. It's that age thing that plays in there. But what is it? Why do young women like older guys, and why do young men like older women? Seems like very rarely does anybody date in their own age bracket anymore. I, for one, when I was back in junior high, high school, even grade school, I always preferred older women. But doesn't mean I always ended up with an older woman. 9 times out of 10, I would end up with someone maybe 3 years older than me, sometimes 3 years younger than me, sometimes my own age. It was just one of those things. Relationships, age, Valentine's Day, artificial holidays. Artificial holidays, that's a good one. I don't know what artificial holidays are anymore besides Valentine's Day. Christmas isn't an artificial holiday anymore. But let's get back to what we're doing, and that's age. I would like your comments on this, so send me an IM. Let me know what you feel about age. Is age really relevant in relationships? Does it mean much in relationships? I'm looking at it from this point of view. If you're a man and you're in love with a woman, or at least want to give it the option of trying to become love, and you're dating a young woman, okay, let's say you're a man and you're 38 years old, and you meet a young lady that's only 27. Is that a problem? It's about 10, 11 years difference. I mean, is that really a problem? Is that uncommon anymore? I know a lot of people say that's no big deal to an older guy dating a younger woman. But let's reverse that. Is it still a big deal if it's a 38-year-old woman dating a 27-year-old guy? Yeah, I don't think so. Society seems to frown on that. And they've come up with names for women nowadays. This is what kills me. If an older woman dates a younger guy, she is a cougar. Okay? I personally don't like that label. I personally don't understand that label. Because going by that label, seeing an older woman dating a younger guy, okay, let's say you're a 38-year-old woman and you're dating a 36-year-old guy. Does that still make you a cougar? Well, just a thought, just a theory. You know, because that age plays in there. Everybody looks at it. How many people out there read the tabloids online? I mean, it's really big, like TMZ or Rock Pop Gossip or all these other websites that are out there that cater to what the Hollywood and rock and roll people are doing and why you ain't doing it too. Now that's a thing that drives me nuts. Why aren't you doing what they're doing? And right now it's not so much age anymore when they're doing the Hollywood gossip stuff, it's weight. You know, this person's losing too much weight. They're too young to do that. This person's gaining too much weight. They're way too old to get that heavy that quick. You know, blah, 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 blah. What's the deal, people? Who cares? Just keep in mind, if you're out there reading all this stuff and believing any of it, you need to have a reality check. And your reality check is you have too much time on your hands. You need to get off and quit reading that stuff. But like I said, it's really big stuff now. The gossip, the weight thing, the age thing. You know, female actresses dating younger men or dating older men, and older actors dating younger women, and vice versa. And who cares? It brings us all back down to age. And if you guys get along and no one's getting hurt, who cares? Have a good time. Take that ride and ride it as long as you can until it's over. Because we both know that someday it's going to be over. And does age factor into marriage? Right now in this country, the United States, they say the divorce rate is about 50%. And I'm assuming they mean 50% of all marriages that happen every year. So they time it every year. So if two people get married this year, one person's getting a divorce this year. How sad is that? Okay, let's say that's true, 50%. Nothing wrong with that, I don't think. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but does age have anything to do with it? If you are two 19-year-olds and you get married, they say the odds of you surviving the first 10 years are very slim. Now, if you're in your mid-20s, they say your chances get better. Then as you get older, they say you stay together longer and your chances of divorce are slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. Which I find ironic because most people, when they get married, they're thinking about starting a family. And I know a lot of women out there are having children later in life, like in their mid-30s. Some of them even their early 40s. I don't know. I had kids early in life, and I am very grateful for that now from this point of view, being on the other end of it. So keep that in mind. Does age really factor into anything? The only thing I can say is that when you're young, you're more eager to give up. And that's just based on not having enough life experiences. But if you hang out in a marriage through the bad, like you say you're going to when you get married, and goodness and health and good times and bad times and yada yada yada. If you're going to hang out in the good times, you need to hang out in the bad times and not point fingers, throw names, rant and rave, slam doors, run out. Because that's just showing that if you're actually 23 and you're acting that way, you're acting more like you're still 10. And if you want to still be 10, you shouldn't be dating, you shouldn't be married. You should still be sitting in, 4th, 5th grade and making goo-goo eyes at the person across the class knowing that nothing's ever going to happen. So don't let that bum you out with the age thing either. Alrighty. I am Darrah. You are listening to RadioVisions. We're here every Friday and Saturday nights between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. Central Time. That's important to keep note of, that it is Central Time. So if you're on the West Coast or the East Coast, the times are a little bit different. It might be earlier for you, might be later for you. If you're in different parts of the world, well, it's either going to be really, really early in the morning or it's going to be really, really late at night, depending on how you look at it. Because right now, if you're in Australia, it's probably like 4 or 5 a.m. So keep that in mind where you're at in your time zones. But I do appreciate to everybody who's out there listening and having a good time with this. Remember, if you want a free reading, the instant messenger on the webpage that you found this link on, you just type in what you need there, hit enter, and it sends it right to me, and I will then search the energy fields around you and tell you what's going on in your world. Try to help you out through the difficult times you're having, or if you're just wanting to know if the relationship you're in is going to last forever. I can help you out with any of that. So, here we are. How many people have bought Valentine's gifts? Like I said, this coming up weekend, February 14th, Valentine's Day. And I have a gift that is something that I can guarantee that nobody, and I mean nobody, will expect, and I can't even talk now, or will receive from anybody else. It's a reading in a bottle. Let me give you the rundown on this. This is really cool, and it's a gift that they're never going to forget. It's a psychic reading based on someone's name, and what we do is we get a name and I look at the energy and I figure out what's going on in their life and their world and all that, and we put all this and I print it on gold parchment paper, roll it up really nice and tight, and put a black tassel around it, and It's shipped in a hand-picked glass bottle. Very elegant, very pretty. It's a truly timeless gift that anybody can cherish and have for the rest of their lives. And if you want to make it a little more interesting, we can actually add a photograph of the person you're doing this for onto the parchment paper. And that even makes it really more personal, and it's really kind of a cool thing to do. So keep that in mind that we can do that as well. So, and those are a great price. They're like $45 and $55. And if we're shipping those, that includes the shipping. Shipping is not added on top of that. So keep that in mind. I can guarantee this will last a lot longer than a dozen roses, because you're going to spend about $140 this year for a dozen roses, and they're going to last about a week. A reading in a bottle will last a lifetime. And it's also a great conversation piece. You'll have it sitting out on your coffee table or your fireplace mantel. And when you have friends over or little house parties or get-togethers, people will see it and go, wow, what's that? Then you can have this big cool story on what it is, how you got it, and you'll remember exactly who gave it to you. How many people have gifts they know that about? I know a lot of people that say, oh, I got this brooch from, well, I really don't remember who gave it to me or why, but I have it now. Keep that in mind. I'd also like to thank all the musicians out there and bands who have been sending in music. I appreciate that very, very much. The problem is, I need more music. So if you're coming to the website and listening to music and you don't think it's changing enough, because we're getting to the point where I have no more new music to keep adding. The music we're playing is great. It's wonderful. It's some of the best I've heard in a long, long time. So keep that in mind. It doesn't cost you anything to send it to me now. If you don't want to send it to me by a CD in a broadcasting form, just read the disclaimer on the website, and if you're okay with it, email me your music, and we will get it integrated into the system and start playing, which would be really cool for a lot of you, because you guys get the credit. And a lot of people have never been on the website, but they ask me how it works, and it's really cool. So when you click on the link, it says listen to music now. You click on that link, and it brings up your, if you're using a Windows-based computer, it brings up your Windows Media Center or Media Player. And if you're using an Apple-based system, it brings up probably iTunes or some other Apple-based media program, and it plays the music. And on that, you'll see the RadioVisions banner at the bottom. Then in the left-hand corner of the screen, you'll see the name of the song and the artist's name. So if you're sending me music saying, how do I get recognition for it? When your song is playing and they're listening to it, they see your song's name, they see your name, they can associate it, and your name will get out there. Like I said, I do appreciate everybody who's sent music in, but I need more. Just keep it coming. The more the merrier. I do appreciate it. I do thank you for you taking the time to send it to me. I know it's hard working in the entertainment business. Very, very hard. And this is a way to get your name out there to people that you normally wouldn't see, or people wouldn't normally come see you. Even if you're in your hometown of Wichita, Kansas, or Houston, Texas, or New Orleans and Louisiana. You know, you play certain venues there, or maybe you don't even play venues. You just make music up in your own home, but no one ever hears it. This is a chance for people to hear it. Get it out there. They click on and listen to the music all day long when they're at work or when they're doing things around the house. They enjoy it. It's great. And they get to know who you are. Think about it. If you're in Wichita, Kansas, and you play only about 6 different clubs within a month or every 2 months, you're probably playing to the same 700 people every week, you know. This way, send it to me and I play it, and everybody with a computer, now think about this, anybody with a computer and an internet connection can hear you. So instead of listening to or playing for 600 people now, you're playing for, what, 8, 9 billion, possibly. That's a pretty big jump, I think, to get your name out worldwide. So keep that in mind, that we're here to help, and by you sending me the music I need to play, you're helping me, and I'm helping you by playing your music. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. Keep that in mind as well. I do have some sad news, maybe. Keep that in mind, that this is RadioVisions. I am Darrah, and we're here every Friday and Saturday nights between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. Central Time. But getting back to the bad news, during the live segments like tonight, our numbers have been down greatly since we've came back from the holidays, and I know this is only our second show since we've came back from the holidays, and our numbers are down great enough. If the numbers don't start going up in the next 2, maybe 3 weeks, we may have to do away with the live shows. I know that'd be a sad thing to hear and do, but we might have to do away with them. I hope not. I like doing the live shows. So if you're out there listening, please, 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 tell your friends. Click in. Make that number rise so we have a reason to do the live shows. Because, to be honest, doing them to a very limited audience is kind of no fun for everybody. Okay, let me rephrase that. Regardless if there's 2 people listening or if there's 200,000 people listening, you guys are having a good time. That's all that really matters. I understand that. But feasibly, on a dollar scale, having us here live on the Friday and Saturday nights, if there's not enough people listening, it doesn't pay. I know that sounds sad to say that it all comes down to money, but face it, it does. It takes time to run a radio station. It takes time to produce what we produce. It takes time to keep websites up and software updated, computers updated, all that fun stuff. And if it takes time, it takes money to do all this as well. So keep that in mind. How many people out there have been over the entire website, visionsbydarrah.com? Do you like the website? Do you like what it is or what it isn't? Let me know if you like it, if you don't like it, and what changes you would make if you could make them. How many people has been to the Let's Make a Deal page? Do you like that concept? I haven't had too many people call me or contact me about it, but the concept's real easy. I have some books up for trade, and this is strictly a barter system. There's no cash, no monies, no nothing involved. I have some real estate books up for trade. So if you've got something that you think is an equal value to those books, or a little more or a little less, but around the same ballpark figure as the books, let me know. Maybe we can make a trade. And if we can make a trade, I'll have something new to offer y'all. And I'm trying to work my way up to a motorhome. I know that sounds funny. This is basically a social experiment. Nothing big, nothing harm. You know, if it works, great. If it don't, great. But it's just trying to get it out there and see how it works. See what happens. You know, so if you're out there listening, look at that page and go, what would I give for those books? So keep that in mind. And they're really, really cool books. They're really knowledgeable books. They're the Carlton Sheets No Money Down real estate course, and it's the Jeff Beck or something like that real estate course. So they're really, really good books, really good reference materials. Can get you a lot with little effort. Tells you how to buy houses with little to no money. And believe me, they're out there. I was skeptical at first, but they're out there. That's what's scary. So keep that in mind. And remember that if you're having a party, a get-together, a formal event, a fundraiser, whatever, get in touch with me. I offer some great shows for everybody. Everything from personal readings done by appointment only to wine readings to imagination shows, talking to the afterlife, and psychic parties, which happens to be my most popular show. And I do mean popular. It's one of those things that can be done. The psychic party is one of those shows that can be done in the privacy of someone's home. It can be done in a hotel, it can be done in a club, it can be done in a restaurant. It can be done in a park. It is just one of those things that is so versatile, it's great. It's where you have your get-together, your party, your event, whatever you want to call it, and your guests can come in and have personal readings done all night long or all day long. And this is what I like about it. And it doesn't say this on my website anywhere, but I do this for everybody who hires the psychic party. And this is only for the psychic party. Keep this in mind. That whoever gets a reading also gets a free gift. And the free gift is really cool. Right now, the free gift is called 7-Day Stones. And 7-Day Stones is 6 stones that are a different color, and each morning you'll shake the little bag they're in and you'll pull one of the stones out. And based on what color it is, you'll look down the little chart that comes with it. And on the chart, it might say the yellow stone is happiness and a great day. You're supposed to let that idea guide your day. Or if you get the red stone, it would be for romance. You're supposed to let that idea guide your day. So it's really cool, really nice that you get to host a party, your guests get free gifts, and it's something they'll be talking about for months to come. Because not a lot of people have psychics at their party. A lot of people, if they have entertainment at parties, it's usually, well, we thought we'd do something different. We hired Bob over there to come in and play music, or we hired Stacy over there to come in and set up karaoke. Which there's nothing wrong with either one of those, but it's done enough that it's nothing really different, So hiring a psychic to come be at your party is something different, something new, something you should all really think about. All really should think about. Keep that in mind. Now, I know earlier tonight we started out the night with talking about age. What do you think about age? Is it a factor? I know a lot of businesses stipulate age too. You have to be 16 to work here. You have to be 18 to work here. Well, if you're over 60, we really don't want you to work here because you're too old. I know they legally cannot tell you that, but they'll tell you that they're just not hiring right now, or they're just not what you're looking for. So if you're between 15 and 20, a lot of times you'll hear that. Or if you're between 50 and 150, sometimes you'll hear that. So why is age a big factor for people? I'm looking at it this way, especially in the business world. If I need to hire somebody and not too many people are applying for the spot, and I get someone that comes in that's 16, should I really go, well, come back in 2 more years when you're 18 or you're 20, and then I'll hire you? If I'm hurting bad enough, I'm going to look at this 16-year-old and go, if you're mature enough, I'll give you the job. If you can do the job, you have the job. I think it should be more on that level. If they're capable of doing the job and doing a good job at it, they should have the job. End of story. Now, I understand that some places of business that deal with alcohol, like clubs, some restaurants, they legally, by law, have to have you at least 18 to wait on tables, 21 to serve the drinks. Yeah, I understand that, but a lot of clubs push it to the point where they don't even hire 18 to 20s somethings. They just hire 21 and over, and that's it. And that's just to protect themselves, and I kind of understand that as well. But here in America, why is age such a big deal? I don't know. Everybody, it's in the paper that, so and so's dating so and so, and it all comes down to relationships, which is really kind of driving me nuts anymore. Now, if you've ever listened to any of these shows in the past, you'll know that they're just kind of open ended. And sometimes, if we start out with a topic, it doesn't mean that's the topic for the entire night. So, if you're out there listening and you want to change the topic, just IM me and say, hey, I'm tired of this topic. Let's go to something else. So, if you want to do that, we can switch over and we can start talking about whatever. Okay, how about this one? Let's switch it over a little bit and say, okay, we talked about age a little bit and the pros and the cons, from dating to businesses to what would you do? If you're 25, do you like to date people around your own age group? Do you like to date people a little younger, a little older? What do you think? I personally always used to date older women, but which is kind of ironic because when I got married, I married someone that was like 1 or 2 years, actually 3 years younger than I was. Kind of ironic, huh? The guy that likes older women marries someone younger. Headlines, breaking news, blah blah blah. But it happens. As long as I said age isn't a factor, it's just if you get along, that get along thing, and it's all good in the long run if you get along, love each other. But what's your take? Do you like dating people or being with people older, younger, about the same age as you? Let's say that about the same age is 2 years younger, 2 years older. That's close enough that it doesn't really matter. So if you're 25, it doesn't matter if you're dating a 28-year-old or a 23-year-old, okay? Doesn't matter. But if you're 25 and you're dating a 20-year-old, or if you're 25 and you're dating a 30-year-old, doesn't matter then? I personally don't think so, but like I said, a lot of people do. A lot of people do. And that drives me nuts. I don't know why. I think is what drives me nuts is the way society looks at things anymore. And I'm going to blame some of this on Hollywood and TV shows that are made in Hollywood, New York, and Chicago, and all those other places. They glamorize relationships as being good, bad, indifferent. But if you ever notice, all these people that are in relationships are usually right around everybody's age group. And I think that's, and I know 100 years ago that it was no big deal for a 16-year-old girl to marry a 19-year-old boy. That was 100 years ago. Come on. Things are changing. Lighten up. If a 16-year-old girl wants to date a 20-year-old guy, is that wrong? Some people still say yes. Depends on the maturity level of the two. But, I'm not going to say it's a good thing. I'm not going to say it's a bad thing. It just depends on the people. And only them people will know if it's right or wrong. So keep that in mind as well. And, would it be different if it was a 16-year-old boy that was dating a 20-year-old girl? Some people wouldn't see anything wrong with that whatsoever. But it just amazes me when it's reversed. How things change, how things are good, how things are bad. And like I said, like I was trying to make my point, I got sidetracked again. I am sorry. I tend to do that when I ramble on and talk about things that the topics here at RadioVisions don't always have to stay one topic for the entire night. So we started this thing out with age. We talked about relationships. We talked about businesses. We just talked about age in general and dating, blah, blah, blah. So, why is it that everybody says age is no big deal when it is? I don't know. I'm going to leave you with that one. Like, ponder it. Just ponder the idea, okay? So you're listening to RadioVisions. I am Darrah, and this is Friday night, February 6th, 2009. Wow, it's been an extremely long day for me, if you can't tell. So, I know a lot of you out there don't know exactly what I do all the time. And I'm a psychic. I do everything all the time. When I say I do everything, I work from early morning till late night, and everything in between is usually so busy, 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 rush, rush, rush with keeping jobs down, parties going, keeping a household down, keeping kids under tow, and everything else. You will be amazed. I mean, totally amazed how quick a day will go when you get up at 7 a.m. Okay, if I sleep in 7:30. Kids are old enough, I don't have to get up any earlier than that anymore. You know, get up, get organized, go to work, come home, go to my other job, come home, go perform at the parties, go do the readings, do the private ones, do the big ones, do all these things, and, you know, my average day is about 16 to 20 hours a day. And that's just kind of a long day for anybody, especially when you do it every single day of the week. Guilty as charged, I do. So keep that in mind. And going back to a thing earlier when I was explaining some of the shows and all that, you'll find this interesting, I think. I have a price guarantee. I guarantee that I can beat anybody's prices. So if I quote you a price, and you actually find a price that's cheaper than mine, bring it back to me in writing. It has to be in writing. And I will match their price and then give you 10% off of that price. So if someone says they'll do a show for $400 and it beats my price, I will say I will do it for $400 minus 10%. Can't be any fairer than that, can it? And that is a very, very wonderful thing to do, is to have a psychic at your parties. If you're doing a fundraiser, the Imagine show is a thing that you want to do because it produces artwork throughout the show, and then at the end of the night you can auction it off and have even something better for your clients and your guests to take home, you know. So if you're doing a big fundraiser and you're charging everybody $50 at the door to get in, then at the end of the night they can spend another $50,000 to $50,000 to bid on artwork that their friends and colleagues have made throughout the night. That's kind of cool, don't you think? So get on the website and read about that. That is one of the coolest things you can do. And very, very reasonably priced, if I do say so myself. So, if you're in the mood to have a fun party, like a black tie affair or something formal, or a masquerade party, this works really well for masquerade parties. It's a show I do called The Stranger. Let me kind of read you a summary on it, and it's the summary you can find on the website. So if you'd rather go to the website and look at it, go click on the other page real quick and go look at it. But it's called The Stranger. Is a phantom at the party. No one knows who he is or what he is. He is just an unannounced guest. And the real guests have no clue what this stranger can do. And over the course of the evening, an unexpected story starts to unfold about the stranger, taking the guest through a very unique night of enchanting and enlightening evening of stories of psychic readings and tales of visions. Now, this one is kind of cool because when the evening starts, I show up and just mingle with your guests and start some little innuendos and rumors and stuff like that. And about halfway through the night, people are starting to ask questions. So then we break out in doing readings for people and stuff like that, and it's really fun. It's just a really cool idea. And this is one that you have to experience to enjoy. It's just that entertaining to watch, especially if you're hosting the party, and just to watch the reaction of your friends and stuff. Try to figure out who I am. That's just kind of really cool. So like I said, if you're just joining us, I am Darrah. This is RadioVisions, and we appreciate you being here and being a faithful listener to the live aspects of RadioVisions. I hope you're also enjoying the music side of the programs, because that's very important as well. And please, if you want a free reading tonight, give me an instant message and I will be happy to give you a free reading. Send me your IM on the website page that you found this link on, and I will guide you in the direction you need to be going, or just affirm some things that you know that are going on and you just wanted to make sure 100%. I can help you with that as well. So, how was everybody's day? If you were here in Wichita, Kansas today, we had a great day. A little windy, but a great day. I don't know how the weather has been on other aspects of the country, because I typically don't listen to weather in Tokyo every day or weather in LA every day, because I'm not there every day. But here in Wichita, Kansas, it was like in the 60s today, okay? This is February 6th and it was in the 60s. Granted, it was pretty windy, but it was warm enough. I don't think anybody cared that it was windy. And it's supposed to be like that again this Saturday. It's supposed to be nice. At one time, they were saying even possibly touching 70 degrees. Wouldn't that be cool? For February 7th, it would be 70 degrees. That would just be cool, I think. But, I take all the warm weather when we can get it, because it's not real warm, like you have to break your shorts out and get your tank tops on and pray for winter, but it's not cold either. For a lot of people, it's just throw a jacket on and the day's great. I love those days. So, tell me what the weather is like in your area if you want. If you live in LA, if you live in Chicago, if you live in New York, what kind of weather did you have today? Was it 40 degrees today? Was it 50? Was it 12? I'd like to know. Just keep in mind that no matter what you want to talk about, just IM me. That's what we're here for. I like to take people by the hand, walk them through the amazing thing that we call life, and guide them through as much of it as I can to try to make it as less confusing or complicated, however you want to look at it. Because life can get complicated a lot of times, and you get caught up in the middle of all these things that your head starts spinning, you're running in 4 directions, and you don't really think things through. You need to quit doing that. Take a deep breath, sit down somewhere in a quiet place, take a deep breath and go, what am I doing? Why am I here at this point in my life? How can I make it better? How can I make it worse? Keep that in mind as well. It's always fun. It's always a good thing to have input from somebody else. And the input you need from somebody else is somebody that will be honest with you. If you're having a bad day and you want to go talk to your friends, they will sympathize with you regardless if the bad day was your fault or if it was someone else's fault. They will sympathize with you. But if they were a real friend, they would let you know why they thought you were having a bad day. If they said, hey, if you didn't get up and took the baseball bat to your girlfriend's car, then she called the cops, she wouldn't be having a bad day. Instead of the other way around was, man, that's just not fair. You got arrested this morning because you beat your girlfriend's car up. I just don't understand. That's just not fair. Got to keep in mind that sometimes bad days are caused by us. Sometimes they're not. They're out of our control. We have no control whatsoever over the bad days. So those are the days that you need people to understand why you're having a bad day. And sometimes that's really hard to get them to that point of being honest with you. But if they're a good friend, they'll let you know. And if you're just joining us, I am Darrah. This is Friday night, February 6, 2009, and it's almost 11 p.m. We got about 10 minutes left. And we are broadcasting live every Friday and Saturday from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. That's Central Time. Keep that in mind. And we still have time to have people ask questions. So to ask a question or to get a reading done, IM me using the AOL Instant Messenger to the right of the page. And remember, just type in your message and hit enter, and I will get that message instantaneously. And I will let you know what's going on with the subject you wanted focused on and so forth. And I also like to throw out that thanks again to everybody who sent in music that we are using on the air currently. I do appreciate that very, very much. I also want to say that we are still currently looking for artists and musicians who would like to submit their original work for airing on RadioVisions. We're looking for music in the areas of all music. So it can be new age, it can be jazz, it can be rock and roll, it can be country, it can be, as long as it's all audience orientated. I don't want stuff in there, swear words and stuff like that, but it's all audience orientated. We'll take a listen to it, or I will take a listen to it personally, and if it's good, we will get it submitted into the computer system, and you guys can listen to yourselves on RadioVisions 24/7, 366 days a year. And yes, I know I said 366 days because every so often we have a leap year that adds an extra day. So that's the 366. So keep that in mind as well. So what are your plans for the weekend? You getting up early tomorrow? Going to work? Sleeping in late because you don't have to go to work? You're going to get up and try to get some yard work done, or clean the front yard out, or wash the car, or do something because it's going to be warm in your area? Regardless what it is, that would be fun. That'd be great. So keep those things going, and don't let anybody tell you can't do something. But seriously, how is your weekend going? What are your plans? I mean, are you hanging around the house? You going to the mall? You going to the lake? I know a lot of you think, going to the lake? Wow, where'd that one come from? But it's warm out. You can go walk by the lake. It's nice. Get that breeze coming off the lake. Get that little chill in the air. Where I live, I have a river not too far. I go walking by the river occasionally. It's a great feeling. You see a lot of people out. Are you just going to go talk to your neighbor tomorrow? Tell your neighbor how great their yard looks, or their house looks, or just ask them what they're doing. When was the last time you actually talked to your neighbor? Do you even know your neighbors? In this day and age, probably about 45 to 65% of the people don't even know who their neighbors are. That's how much seclusion everybody has nowadays. You're too busy running back and forth to work or hiding away in the house. You don't know who your neighbors are. If something should happen and you went to your neighbors, would you be able to say, "Hey John, hey Sarah, can I use your phone because I'm having some problems at my house?" Or would you be walking over there going, "Hey, I know you don't know me, but I've lived next door to you for the last 20 years. Can I use your phone?" I know it sounds crazy, but keep that in mind, that get out and know your neighbors. Do things when you can, especially when it's warm outside. Before it gets extremely hot, warm like 60s, 50s. Have a great time. And remember, and this is the hardest thing for any of us to do, but appreciate the people you got in your life today. Don't wait until they're gone to appreciate them. Let them know. If you're married, tell your spouse that you love them, or that you appreciate them being there in times of your crisis, whatever that might be. But on the other hand, be there for them as well. Make things great, make things wonderful for everybody. But just keep in mind that everybody's out there to do their thing, and we all need something to do. We all need something to do. As corny as that sounds, it's true. I know more people that say, oh, I'm going to retire. I'm retiring early. So they retire when they're 50, 55, some at 60. And within a year or less, they're going, God, I wish I had something to do. So they all go out and get part-time jobs. Or they go out and get full-time jobs again. Because, the first 3.5, 4 months was great. Not doing anything, no schedule, doing whatever they wanted. Then reality sinks in of, oh great, it's just another day in paradise. I can get up at noon if I want, or I can get up at 6 a.m. if I want. Don't have to be nowhere, but I can do this because I'm retired early. Just be careful what you wish for and make the best of it. Appreciate the people in your life. Appreciate them today. Appreciate them tomorrow. Let them know that you care. Just let them know. And life will be a great place. I do want to let everybody know that in the newsletter that we got going, and if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, please do so. Go to the Contact Us/newsletter page and join the newsletter. We send out a monthly newsletter. Every once in a while, it's maybe twice a month, but we don't do that very often. It's been basically once a month for a while. But starting next month, which is March, we will be doing monthly readings in the newsletter. So keep that in mind that you can get a mini monthly reading every month by doing nothing but signing up to our newsletter, which is kind of a really cool thing. And I'm going to try to get that posted on the sign up page that we're going to be adding the monthly readings. I haven't done that as of yet. To be honest, I haven't had time. But I know about a week ago when I sent out the newsletter for February, it was in there. So those of you who have got it, great, you know it's coming. And that's another thing about the newsletter. If you sign up for it, you know about things before everybody else does. And that's really kind of cool to know that the monthly readings are coming before your friends down the street do, or knowing if we've canceled the live talk show radio. Because if you don't know that's canceled, you're going to tune in some night and it's going to be gone. And you'll probably be scratching your head going, whoa, what the heck happened there? I loved that show. What happened to it? Well, then you'll know our ratings were down low enough that it wasn't feasible to do the show anymore. So keep in mind that the newsletter is out there for information for you. And it lets you about new shows like Secret Confessions, which is posted on the website. So sign up for that and send us your secret confessions. Let us know what you would like to confess, and we will get those posted on RadioVisions. So it's not really posted, it's actually live over the radio one night. And nobody will know who you are, because that's the whole point of it, secretly. And unless otherwise stated by you, we will not use your name. So if you want your name used, please let us know that it is okay to do that. But most people, I would say, if they were sending a secret confession, wouldn't want their name to be involved in the confession. I guess I could be wrong about that, but that would seem kind of silly, don't you think? But at any rate, the night is winding down for us here. Our hour is about up. And I'd just like to thank you for listening to RadioVisions, and I am Darrah. This is live Internet Talk Radio, broadcasting from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Central Time every Friday and Saturday nights. And remember that during the live shows, it's just kind of a let's see where the show takes us. I usually try to start out with some kind of topic to give people focus on where we're going, what we're doing. But we don't have to stay with that particular topic. If you got a different topic you would like to hear or talk about, just submit it through IM. And I'd be happy to look at it and throw that topic out there and we'll start talking about that. So that's no big deal. And as the night goes on and on and on and on and on, I know what you're thinking. Wow, does it really go on and on and on and on? Yes, it does. I'm going to have to say goodnight for tonight because my time is up. I am Darrah. You are listening to RadioVisions. And remember, click on the music link and you can listen to music 24/7. Thank you and have a great weekend.